Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
The first day of class for Fargo students is now scheduled for September 2nd after the Fargo School Board voted in favor of its restart plan.
But parents will have to wait a few more weeks before finding out whether their children will be in the classroom, work online, or have a combination of both. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero joins us live in the studio to explain the district's plans. Joshua?
Andrew and Mike, it took 6 hours before school board members provided clarity for parents and students on the upcoming school year. School buildings will be disinfected daily using UV technology and fogging. Students and staff will be required to wear masks, and the school will provide kids with one daily, although they're urged to bring their own. They're also encouraging everyone to do a daily health check, which includes taking your child's temperature. Now, a committee will meet on August 10th to decide if classes will be in person, online, or hybrid using several data sets, including the hospitalization and death rate in Cass County. It's likely students will start this year in a level 3 hybrid model, meaning elementary students will spend 2 to 3 weeks in class, 2 to 3 days a week in class and do the rest online. Middle and high school students, on the other hand, will do in-person throughout September in a reduced capacity, but then work remotely come October. This is just the tip of the iceberg on what board members discussed today. We have the full plan on our website, valleynewslive.com. Andrea?
All right, thanks, Joshua. And tomorrow we'll find out what West Fargo Public Schools has planned for its Return to Learn plan. They'll be talking about the guidance they received from the state to create that plan and then the steps families and staff should be aware of. Governor Tim Walz says the first day of school this year will be unlike anything we've ever seen, as the learning type from district to district could vary drastically depending on their county's COVID-19 data. In Walz's new Safe Learning Plan, he says the state will work individually with school districts to decide whether students go back to school in person, virtually, or a mixture of both this fall, and says the plan prioritizes keeping younger students in the classroom as transmission is likely less common, and because in-person learning is especially important for young children. Walz is also requiring school districts to give families the option of distance learning no matter which learning model the school district chooses, saying it's important families are not forced to choose between their health and education.
The good times continue in our weather as this has been another spectacular day. Let's check in with Justin Fanfarella to find out what tonight's conditions will be like. Justin?
Thank you, Mike and Andrea, and good evening, everybody. Yes, more really nice weather out there, nothing like we saw last week with the high humidity and the severe storms. Lots of sunshine and temperatures staying seasonably warm. We should be into the lower 80s this time of year, and we are currently into the lower 80s now from the Grand Forks area out toward Devil's Lake and Jamestown, 80 at Thief River Falls and Fargo, and into the upper 70s across most of Lakes Country. And as for that humidity level, dew point values between 55 and the low 60s in most places. That is comfortable humidity, no more 70s on the map so far. Now let's take a look at the wind speeds. The winds are flipping around from a northerly direction to more of a southerly direction, as you can see in portions of central North Dakota. Winds are not that bad, around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but a southerly flow will pump in warmer and slightly more humid air for the day tomorrow, when we do have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms. I already see the storms into portions of western North Dakota. We are mostly sunny to partly cloudy and dry for us, and that is going to be the story going through the evening. Mostly clear skies, temperatures falling back through the 70s into the 60s. We'll tell you what you need to know about the storm chance tomorrow and what the weekend ahead looks like. That's coming up later in the newscast.
Did my yard work this morning and enjoyed it. The weather was perfect.
Yep.
Thanks.
Still no word on injuries to a man who jumped from the third floor of an apartment building in order to escape a fire. It happened at a building along 3rd Avenue and 6th Street North around 1:30 this morning. Heavy fire was first reported and then contained on the west half of the top floor. The man who jumped was taken to a hospital. We do know the man was conscious before being transported. There's no word on the fire's cause or the cost of damage.
A man is in jail tonight accused of terrorizing residents at an apartment building in North Fargo this morning. Police went to the Graver Inn, that's just off of Robert Street North, at about 4:45 because a fire alarm was going off. Residents there told officers that there was a man who ripped off the handle to the security door and went in the building. Witnesses also told police that the man tried to enter some apartments and threatened people in there. Aaron Hadley was found covered in his own blood and appeared to be under the influence of an unknown drug. No one was hurt in the incident.
We now know the name of the woman who was killed in a crash in Lemoore County on Tuesday. She's 63-year-old Paula Thofson of Watertown, South Dakota. Investigators say a pickup pulling a gooseneck trailer went through the intersection of Highways 13 and 281. Thofson was driving the other vehicle, which struck the trailer. The driver of the pickup was treated for his injuries.
A Muslim advocacy group is calling for charges to be brought against the man suspected of starting the riots following George Floyd's death. CARE Minnesota is asking officials to investigate his suspected ties to the Hells Angels biker gang and a white supremacist prison group. People have been calling him Umbrella Man. He was seen in viral video breaking the windows of an AutoZone in South Minneapolis 2 days after Floyd's death. Then hours later, mass looting and arson erupted in the Twin Cities. His name has not been released since he has not been arrested.
Meanwhile, former Minneapolis police officer Tou Thao is asking for his charges to be dismissed. His attorney filed the motion yesterday to drop the charges on grounds that they're not supported by probable cause. The attorney maintains that prosecutors must prove that Thao knew that former officer Derek Chauvin and others were going to commit a crime. Another officer who was charged in Floyd's death is also asking for his charges to be dropped. Thomas Lane's attorney filed that motion earlier this month.
The Minnesota Department of Corrections will investigate all deaths in jails over the last 5 years. It's being done to determine if there were any shortcomings during the initial examination of the cases. According to DOC records, there have been at least 50 deaths in the state's jails since 2015. The review will also look at suicides at the jails to determine if enough was done to prevent the deaths. Records show that Hennepin County's jail and Beltrami County have had the highest number of deaths among jails since 2015.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, many stores in the area are requiring customers to wear masks. We'll tell you about an online course that can help workers approach those who are not wearing a face covering.
And for tomorrow evening, we could be dealing with some showers and thunderstorms, especially in the Southern Valley and Lakes country. We'll tell you about that and the really nice weekend ahead that's coming up next.